let's talk waiver wire hitters and outfielders that could be out there in some shallower leagues. Joe Adell, rough start to May, but he's picking things back up. He's homered in 3 of his past 5 games, and overall, he's batting .255 with 7 home runs and 7 steals so far. Kerry Carpenter had a big game on Saturday, 2 for 5 with a double dong, 3 RBI. The problem is that he does not play against lefties, and there are 3 lefties on the schedule this week for the Tigers. Yep. Lars Nootbaar is picking things back up as well. His last 7 games, he's batting .320 with 2 home runs. He is only 41% rostered. And Joey Loperfido has multiple hits in 2 of his last 3 games. He went 2 for 5 with 2 runs and 1 RBI on Sunday. The problem is that he's only started 3 of the past 6 games for the Astros.
I think only one of those that he sat was against a righty, if I'm remembering just off the top of my head.
I think 2 were against a righty.
2 were against righties. Well, the thing is, Joey Loperfido all of a sudden is batting .321 after a couple games with multiple hits here. So that's how quickly things can turn around. And I mentioned on Friday's show that the Astros have the best hitter matchups this upcoming week, and I kind of wanted to put Loperfido in there, but he had done next to nothing. Well, now he's batting .321, so I went ahead and added him. Ooh. The Astros are scheduled to face just 1 lefty in their 7 games with their very favorable hitter matchups. So you could look to Loperfido for that. But I will point out Joe Adell is higher on that list, with the Angels having the second best hitter matchups. And you mentioned the home runs. You did not mention he's still striking out less than 25% of the time, which is very, very encouraging still for Joe Adell. Having said all that, I would say Lars Nootbaar is my favorite of all of them. I don't have him in the sleeper hitters for this week because the Cardinals matchups aren't as good as the Astros or Angels, but I think he's going to be the most impactful for fantasy rest of season. Hits the ball very hard, really good plate discipline, and it's beginning to show up in the numbers.
I think in a categories league, I would take Adell. In a points league, I would take Nootbaar. Is that fair?
I hear the argument. I think I'd take Nootbaar either way.
With Joey Loperfido, I will point out, it looks like you were right, Scott. Of the 3 games that Loperfido sat out recently, 2 were against lefties. So that's pretty much expected.
That's right, Frank. That's right. I get something right every once in a while.
How about some names in 5 outfielder leagues? Leody Taveras, so hot right now. 2 for 4 with a sock and a shoe on Saturday. Over his last 9 games, he is batting .353 with 2 homers, 13 runs, and 2 steals. Brenton Doyle has stolen a base in 3 straight. Over his last 4 games, he's got 6 hits, 1 homer, 3 steals. And on the season, he's batting .289. He's got 4 homers, 7 steals. That's Brenton Doyle we're talking about. The problem this week, 6 games on the road where he has a .605 OPS. So don't know that I want to do the Brenton Doyle thing this week.
Yeah.
But he's a name I would want to have on my bench in all category leagues and just play him whenever he's at home.
I mean, certainly the 5 outfielder ones. It is worth pointing out with Brenton Doyle, his strikeout rate is much improved too. Not to the same extent as Joe Adell, but he was 35% last year, and he's down around 28% now. So you could see, like, given where he plays his home games and the effect it has on BABIP. What is his BABIP right now? His BABIP is 387, which is normally crazy high, but not unbelievable for Coors Field. So with the speed there as well, I think Brenton Doyle could remain useful in 5 outfielder leagues for being a guy with little name value.
All right. 3 names who could be available as corner infielders in Roto leagues. Lamont Wade is hitting well right now, 1 for 3 with 2 walks and his second home run. He did that on Sunday. He is batting .340 with a .937 OPS. He does not play against lefties. There's only 1 lefty on the schedule this week for the Giants. Carlos Santana homered in 3 straight, and over his last 21 games, he's batting .280 with 7 home runs and 19 RBI. Connor Joe, that's right. My Connor Joe. He's homered in back-to-back games on Saturday and Sunday. He has started 7 of the past 8. Scott, how would you rank these just as corner infield options moving forward? Connor Joe, Carlos Santana, and Lamont Wade.
I'll go Santana, Wade, Joe. I think look, Wade and Joe don't play every day. So that's a big issue for both of them. Could you play them with the right matchups? Yeah, especially right now while they're hot. I don't think they're going to remain this good all season. Santana, I think his full season numbers aren't there's not much room for improvement on them. He's got his batting average up over 200 again, but
Woo!
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just think he's well past his prime, and it'd have to be a pretty deep league for me to turn to him.
2 middle infielders that could be out there. Abraham Toro is on quite a run right now, racking up the hits, 2 for 4 with his 4th home run on Sunday over his last 16 games. He is batting .410 with 2 homers, 12 runs scored, 9 RBI, hitting the ball hard, lots of line drives. Again, that is Abraham Toro. And Davis Schneider had a huge game on Saturday, 3 for 4 with a sock and a shoe, his 4th home run, his 2nd stolen base. And he has started 12 of the past 13 games.
Yes, he
hitting the ball hard. He's barreling it up. Expected numbers look pretty good. I think there's something to like here. Davis Schneider, 18% rostered, second base and outfield eligible. Are you looking to add any of these guys, Scott, in, let's say, roto-sized leagues? Schneider?
I'm pretty excited about Schneider. He might be the hitter I'm most excited about from the week. And I guess I can't say over Brent Rooker and Max Kepler. I was struggling. Matt Kepler, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, over Brent Rooker and Max Kepler. Those are, if in leagues where they're available, points league or otherwise, they're the highest priority hitters to add, I feel like. And in fact, Rooker's up over 80% at this point, so maybe he's not even worth mentioning from that perspective. But Schneider, among those widely available, I'm very excited about him because my only reason for kind of shying away from him in drafts in March was because it's 105.
Right on the dot. I just wrote it in the private chat. 105 on the dot. Robo Scott is here.
Yeah. Okay. So Schneider, look at his minor league numbers. The guy walks a ton. He has the optimal spray angle for hitting home runs. It led to huge production down there. And so far, what we've seen from him in the majors, it's been the exact same thing. And he can play left field. He can play second base. The Blue Jays need help on offense. And I think they're finally realizing Davis Schneider is one of their best choices. And he's like for the season. So I'm not talking about just, that 13 game stretch or for however long he's been hot. For the season now, Davis Schneider is batting .278 with a .383 on base percentage and a .500 slug.
Yeah.
Like that's considerable production. And I'll be honest, I was looking to add him in some 3 outfielder leagues even.
Again, that is Davis Schneider. In case you're still looking for a Wilson Contreras replacement in a 2-catcher league, Danny Jansen has been raking since he returned in mid-April. He went 3 for 5 with his 4th home run on Saturday. He has started 7 of the past 9 games. He's 31% rostered. Ivan Herrera looked good this weekend. He had back-to-back multi-hit games, 5 hits total. He is batting .263, 20% rostered. Again, that is Ivan Herrera. And then in the deeper leagues, 3 names, if you're in those 2-catcher formats. Corey Lee is a name that we haven't talked about, but he's quietly hit when given an opportunity to play this season with the White Sox. He went 2 for 4 with his 4th home run on Friday. Yasmani Grandal had his first big game with the Pirates on Saturday, 2 for 4 with a 3-run homer. And Jose Trevino had a big game on Sunday, 2 for 4 with a double dong and 3 RBI. Anything to add on those catchers, Scott?
No, I mean, Ivan Herrera and Danny Jansen are the most interesting two. You know what? You know who I'd put ahead of anyone else on this list? Behind Herrera and Danny Jansen still.
Who's that?
Tyler Soderstrom.
Did he
Who
do
is
anything this
eligible?
weekend?
Well, he has been playing first base. I think he got a day off Sunday, but he had been playing consistently at first base, and
Yeah.
I think he homered this weekend.
He homered on, it looks like Wednesday last week, but he did have a couple hits this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for a second catcher in a deep league, compared to like Yasmani Grandal and Jose Trevino, it's no contest. I'd rather take the shot on Tyler Soderstrom, and if it doesn't work out, it's just like most any other second catcher you'd pick up.
Couple other names in deeper leagues that are not catchers. Eddie Rosario is red hot. Over his last 7 games, he is batting .455 with 4 homers and 3 steals. That brings his batting average all the way up to 174.
I know.
Paul
He's so hot, and yet
Yeah.
the batting average is tiny.
Yep.
What happened, Eddie?
He left the Braves. That was part of the problem. Paul DeYoung, over his last 8 games, is batting .357 with 3 homers. And man, I just love this podcast. This is one of my favorites ever, Scott. We get to talk about Connor Joe. We get to talk about Willie Calhoun, who went 3 for 4 with his first home run of the season on Sunday. He is batting .333 with a .967 OPS, has started 9 of the past 10 games for the Angels, and he has hit cleanup in 8 of those games. Very deep league stuff here, Scott, but did you have any bids in on Eddie Rosario, Paul DeYoung, or Willie Calhoun here on Sunday?
I did have one in on DeYoung, not because I like DeYoung, but because it was a deep league and I really, really needed a middle infielder. And you only have so many options. I think everything else being equal, I am most excited about Calhoun of this group. Now, I believe he's DH only, and he's only playing DH, so that's not going to change. So that makes him the most difficult fit. And I'm not saying like he's a priority pickup now or anything, but the Angels are giving him an opportunity unlike he's had in a long time. He doesn't strike out much. He doesn't have a lot of raw power, but he's hit home runs in the minors. So he's going to have to be a guy who succeeds by elevating to his pull side well. And I think it remains to be seen. Like, he hasn't been doing that so far in this stint. He's already up to 6 doubles in the short time he's been there, but first home run. He does elevate well. Is he going to pull it enough in the air? I think that's the key to Willie Calhoun becoming anything. And we're all waiting with bated breath to see if that happens.